Hello. Gonna get ready for school. I'm not doing lab today or facials, so I can do makeup. And I'm pretty sure no one wants me to talk about him, is what he's been trying to allude to over in his own way. So, we'll talk about Noah, but technically we're gonna be talking about Luke. It's Luke's turn. Noah's tied to Luke, so this is how I know Noah, so we'll be talking about both of them. But this is Luke's video. But Noah's on tour, and we love a Noah. I'm telling you, we all love each other. It's just because of Battle of the Bands don't mean nothing. Like, it's a family, okay? Don't mean nothing. That's my baby. That's my boo. In an asshole way, but it's still, you know, I'll tell you about that. So funny. Anyways, let's get started. So how I know Luke. I have been listening to this type of music, underground, post-hardcore scene, okay? Not because of Ronnie. I didn't know Ronnie was, I mean, I did afterwards, but like, I was listening to it because I liked that music. It was the type of music I was listening to anyways, kind of situation. I got into rock. My mom has always been into rock, like Mamonas, Sasanillas, you know, like not just regular rock. So I've always been in the rock world. But me specifically listening was like Linkin Park, Papa Roach era, got me into that. Specifically got me into rock, like I'm a rocker chick, was Perfect Circle. I was over my friend David's house, my mom's best friend's kid. I'd go over his house after school. His mom would babysit us. And so he played, I always get the song wrong, and it's the song that got me into, songs that got me into rock. Something about a nurse, like a nurse. But it's from the 13th album. I don't know why my brain just shuts off, but it's that song. Into Pet. That transition went so hard, it knocked my socks off. I'm like, oh, I'm a rocker. Okay, so if there's anything that got me into rock, it's The Nurse Who Loved Me, Into Pet. Knocked my socks off. I was like, oh shit. Okay. Also, I did quit, but I'm back to vaping. Here and there. It's not that she's stressed, but she's stressed. It's all coming back. Oh, yeah. Okay, Celine. Like, it's Celining right now. Okay? Anyways. So, always been into it, but specifically post-hardcore. Was during, like, when Evanescence did the song with Linkin Park and stuff. With Linkin Park? I don't know. But, like, all that era. That's when I was heavy, like, looking up songs and, like, getting in and, like, digging and then finding post-hardcore, MySpace. I had Snitches Get Stitches by Emily Fiction on my MySpace. I had, but I also, because my dad was super Christian, he wouldn't let me listen to that type of music. It was always Under Oath, Devil Wears Prada, you know, so it was still Christian. We Came as Romans, Word of Alive, you know, like it was still Christian, but like that's how I got in it, and that's how I know of Luke. Don't know these people, nothing. I just know it's a lot of boys. They're all the same. All chugs, all crapcore, mathcore. Like it's all the same, but it's, you know, different bands. Okay. So like I said, like when David brought up like, oh, who, and I said Aaron. It's not like I know these people or anything. It's like this is my genre. Okay. Anyways. I started dating D in high school. It was cutesy at first, so there was nothing to it. We went to a rock concert together, and it was We Came as Romans, and The Word Alive. I'm pretty sure, and this is by memory, But what happened and then who it was is the problem. I think it was Blake and Brian and Luke, if my memory serves me right. But for sure Luke, okay? So it was like a couple of boys came up to me and they're like, oh, let's, at this concert before it started, we're gonna do a pickup lines and you pick the best one. And the best pickup line was Luke, I am your father. It has nothing to do with the movie, okay? And I was like, oh my god, you win, okay? And then the show starts, or was it after? Regardless, this is what happened, okay? The order and everything, this is what happened, okay? And I was like, Luke wins. During the concert, and this is friend of D, so I think that's what triggered him to becoming obsessive and attacking me, because at first it was adorable and like he was a little like depressive about it, us dating, and it was like, oh, that's a little sad, but okay, you know. But him being obsessive was after this concert, pretty sure. So I go to the concert, I watch Luke play, and I'm like mesmerized. I surf for him, crowd surf, whatever. And then after the concert, we go to talk to the people, because usually underground bands, they interact with their fans in order to, you know, grow, networking, normal. So I go up to him again and we're talking. The people with the pickup lines, I think, was Blake and Brian, is what I was saying. I don't remember what their pickup lines were, but I'm pretty sure that they already knew each other prior, you know? Okay. Regardless, that has nothing to do with me. It was Luke, because Luke also, if you know, they all know each other, Ronnie, okay, in the background, right? The same genre, okay? So they're probably talking about me and stuff, so these people already knew of me, okay? Okay. So then I go to Luke. It was obvious Amanda has a crush on him. I was like this the whole time he was playing drums. Like, I was mesmerized. I go up to him, I'm like adorable about it, but then he goes, oh, you're my present. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I had my boyfriend there. And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? You know? And then we leave. After that, D becomes obsessive and is attacking me. That's when it started, okay? I think because Luke called me and I didn't go with him, D was like, oh, you know, like, that's mine. I'm gonna become obsessive about it. Houses, okay? Pretty sure. And it was more like, I'm 15 and you're on the road. Like, I can't be doing that. I'm not emancipated. You know, it was more like, I can't be doing that. No, not. I don't like him. It was obvious I did, you know? So it was just like, no, I can't be going with you. He's like, let's go. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. It was adorable though. Okay. And that's how I met Luke. Okay. I officially meet Blake through Donna. Donna was besties with Jackie, who was the singer of Dee's band. They had a falling out or something. Donna and I becomes friends. T is in the scene, I'm telling you. He did listen to that music. He just wasn't in it like I was, okay? Like, he wasn't part of it. He was just a fan of it, okay? He wanted to be a guitarist, things like that, okay? But he wasn't in the scene. Whereas my family, like, my mom was, like, in it and, like, shit like that, okay? Like, people involved and stuff, okay? But he didn't know that about me. I don't talk about that stuff. I was situationally tortured in a way, like confused and like played with, but like it was adorable, not offensively. So I don't like talking about it because it's not anything wrong necessarily. I was like, they asked me who's the cutest boy. I'm picking a boy. Like, it's nothing bad that happened technically. The back end, they're like fucking around doing stupid shit, right? And using me as a bounce board was what as a kid was. So technically nothing wrong. I just didn't like talking about it because I knew what was happening in the background is the problem. My mom is a black woman, like a witch, okay, literally. So she made sure I was in the know of things that was going on, okay? She didn't want me to not know. Or not have innocence, because innocence is weakness in a way. Especially to her in Brazil, it's a big deal. Okay? So I kept my innocence, but I knew of not having innocence, so I can balance both as a child. And on one word, which is probably why I don't sweat when I was with these people and stuff, and there was just like a lot of things happening, and everyone's sweating and like freaking out, and I'm just like chilling. I'm like, yeah, because I was already tortured as a kid in a way, I think is what happened, or just hormones and stuff. I don't know, but regardless, okay. So Donna's obsessed with Brian, so we start hanging out with them. Me and Blake become besties because we're watching the Donna drama go down, and we're just like over here commentating. We're like, that girl's obsessed. He's like, I know. I was like, what the fuck? You know, this is jokes. And then it came down to, he goes to me, he's like, oh, ask me to move in with you. And I was just like, oh, that's adorable. Move in with me. And also, I wanted that because he was attacking me. So I was like, yeah, do it. I should do my makeup. Now I can, so let's do that. Right. So he's ignoring me. I'm already getting attacked, and it's not just D. If I would go out or anything, like with Donna, because she is boy obsessed, she'd be like edging guys and stuff, and then like dropping them, and then I'm trying to like pull her away, like, stop, what are you doing? And then they would look at me, and then like sometimes like bros and stuff, like the wingman of the group, you know, like I would get attacked regardless. Like things kept happening, you know, to me, not just D. So I was getting tired of that. In college, so I took a semester off, which was the summer. But I didn't tell my dad that. But I was like, fuck that. I'm taking the summer off. I need a break from that bullshit because I'm tired of getting attacked for existing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, what the fuck? This girl is getting me into trouble from being boy obsessed. And I could be hanging out with her, but like, we're still friends, and she's still obsessive and using me to hang out with her friends, Brian and stuff, because I'm friends with Blake, right? Okay. Don't judge her for that, but girls are boy obsessed. It's a normal thing. I like to use Kiehl's Calendula Skin Soothing Lotion to thin out foundations, because I don't like heavy foundation. I like a thin veil of foundation just to cover up any redness, but have some coverage, you know. What else? So he starts living with me. It's amazing. We are really good friends. I have a great memory of Blake. And then I start throwing parties. Alyssa's living in the other closet, was what inspired Blake to live with me. Alyssa was in Danny's closet. So he's like, oh, I could live here until I find a place in Orlando. Since we're from South Florida, he needed a place to be in the scene. I was like, yeah, stay in my closet, fuck it. I don't care. And then we'll throw parties. Boom, you know, you're in the scene. Okay? All right. So we start throwing parties. He invites Luke. Luke and I remember each other, you know. I was just like, oh my god, like, I always had a crush on you. You know that. I know. It was adorable. Kid Amanda. Oh, it was like a reunion kind of thing. And I was just like, oh. He's like, you want a date? And like, it was like little kid stuff too. So it was adorable too still. You want a date? I'm like, yeah. Okay. But then I also explained to him what was going on in the background. I'm like, hey, you're the reason that I was being attacked. Like, after that, he started attacking me. He's like, stay with me. And I'm like, okay. You know? Alright. So that's how it started. Me and Luke. And then they're like, oh, you gotta hook up with him. And then he's like, I can't. I have epilepsy. But if you want, hook up with whoever. I'm not ready for that. But until I am, like, you know, until that happens, like, just do whatever you want. And I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily care about sex like that. Let's make it a game. Okay. All right. We had crushes. We don't know each other like that, you know? So let's make it a game. And that's how it started. Okay. And that's how we incorporated Danny, because Danny was already bitching that I had sex with Eric and she was mad. And I was just like, let's incorporate that, like, whatever, you know? Okay. We start adding boyfriends to the group. And comes Noah. There's like, each room, it means something. So like, Danny's room, the bathroom is Luke's spot because he can't come to my room, okay? He's locked away. The living room is where all like the hot, like all of my friends are hot. So all the hot boys are in the living room. And we're dating, but we're not dating. So like they're hidden away too, but not really, okay? Like they're people I could sleep with, but I'm technically with Luke, okay? I'm playing like all complex stuff. Stupid shit, okay? Like that's where Zach, front of house music. There's people have the same names. So then there's Zach, front of house, over there in the living room. That was his spot. You know, like everybody had their own spot, like to chill while we're drinking and just chatting. But at the same time, like because if you're in on it, you know. And then anybody who's new is like, oh yeah, you're either in or you're out. But like either way, we had our regulars, okay? And they had their spots where they would hang out because it's a tiny apartment during these parties or hangouts. Okay. So when I start becoming friends, but he knows I'm dating Luke. He's super hot. Everybody likes him. You know, obviously he's a pretty boy. And so we start making jokes, and we're in the hardcore scene. So we start making jokes at each other, being assholes to each other, like, Noah, like spilled water, like, oh, I can't. I want to hook up with it. I want to hook up with him, but I can't. So that's how the joke started, was he's so hot and I can't do anything about it. And so we would do it to each other, right? And he's like, oh my gosh, Amanda. And I was just, you know, just hyping each other up. And we're just like, ah. So we're doing the same about Luke. But it's actually like we really can't think it's for real. Like, I'm with Luke, so it's like spilled water. I'm like, oh, god dang it. Noah. And him and Luke are friends, so Luke is laughing about it. It's like, yeah, that's my girl, so no, you can't. And it's like, no, he's so hot, that sucks. Because my girlfriends all think he's hot too, but he doesn't necessarily want to hook up with them. He might have a girlfriend. All my boys, they're my boyfriends, but they might have girls in the background. I don't know what's going on with them, you know? I don't judge them for any of that, so I'm like, Noah, please. You know, jokes. But like, he is hot, so it's like true. So it's like, you know, it was like, she is attractive, and people do want to hook up with Amanda, but she's not going to because she's hardcore. Okay? Or if she does, it's her choice. But I'm hardcore, so I don't. That's the point of being a princess, you know? Good girl. Okay? Alright. Which why why a big deal was, hooking up with Bob was a big deal. But like, my boys, like I said, Blake is hooking up with some girl named Emily and gave me the song Emily. Like, it's not, there's girls involved too. It's not just me, it's just the dynamics with my boys and me, okay? So me and Noah are already bantering. Oh, I love Noah. Which is why I made the chicken pot pie. And then Danny made a spinach. Kind of like cream spinach, but instead of cream, she used, she didn't put any water. She just put spinach in like a pie dish with powder ranch. And spinach has already an enzyme that dries out the mouth. With dry powder, it was a Sahara desert in your mouth when you ate it. It was like, what the fuck? Oh, this is disgusting. And because it was like a cooking challenge in a way. And so I made chicken pot pie. And then she made that. It wasn't a challenge. It was just like, there was people over and we're hosts because it's our apartment. So she made that. And so whatever enzyme spinach has, I forget the name, mixed with the ranch powder. It was crazy disgusting, okay? That's all I gotta know. And she heats it up, so it's hot spinach. It was disgusting. Terrible. But mine was really good. It was actually a real chicken pot pie because I'm a good cook. So that's a peace of mind the way you taste, you know, or like, fuck no, you know, like, so like to be with him, he'd have to be in the band, you know. That was another portion of that part. Funny stuff, okay? Once we incorporated, I'll talk more about that, but once we incorporated Ronnie, he had me picking boys of like my list, I guess, of who I'd hook up with, because he doesn't necessarily carry my pimp. He's like, oh, who do you want to hook up with? And I was just like, this boy. And he's like 5, and I was just like, and so then Blake was supposed to be in there, but then Noah like jumped up, and I was like, because he's an asshole, and I was just like, no. So I throw a tantrum for Noah. I'm like, no, Noah needs to be on the list. So we dropped Blake for Noah because we're assholes to each other, but like at the same time it's true, but it's not, because there's boys that something in the way. Okay, so he was way too excited to be joining on the list. He's like, I'll go, and I'm like, you fucking asshole. I love Noah. We love each other. But it's playful banter kind of love. So do you feel love? It is, I do, like, I love him, but it's a different kind. It's not suicidal murders, it's playful. And if we did hook up, it would be playful. Feelings could stem from that, so I wouldn't, but that's our dynamic. Noah and I. Back to Luke and me being murderous for him. I was already getting attacked, so I'm like, yo, you're the reason. Me liking you was a problem, so and so I was already like, you know, like, stop making fun of him. If anybody's gonna make fun of Luke for having epilepsy, it's me. And so I was in charge of making fun of him lovingly, but I was his devil in a way. Okay. Cool. Is what it is. I will always love Luke. Like, I am telling you, when I see him usually when I see him, I don't have shame, but I shame myself when I see him. So I'm like, I look away and act like I don't know him. I act brand new, and then he tries to confront me. This has happened multiple times, and I shame myself when I see him because I didn't have shame being with him and making fun of him lovingly, but like making fun of him for having epilepsy. I didn't shame myself at all at any point of being with him at those parties. If anything, I escalated things. Okay. So that's what happens when I see him. And he knows it too. So he pisses me off every time he acknowledges me. I'm like, what do you want? Especially when I was fat and I was doing the throwdown. Part of the throwdown was me gaining weight because I don't want to be with D. I'm gonna get fat. Like, I don't want this. It's a throwdown. It's a prove yourself, like a battlegrounds kind of situation. Because they're saying, what are you gonna do about it? I'm like, pit. We're gonna pit it, you know? Hardcore scene, okay? So then, he came to my job once to confront me, and I was just like, go do whatever you have to do. Like, you know, I'm doing a throwdown right now. I can't be talking to you. What the fuck are you doing here? And he's like, oh, because I do love you. And I'm like, don't tell me that. Make things worse. So I was pissed every time I'd see him. I'd be like, doing a throwdown. Like, I will, trying not to go to jail. had to go. Like, I don't think he understood the severity of my psychosis being with him and, like, not wanting to be with him. I don't think he understood that, like, he should not be with me. Like, he should break up with me. He didn't understand. But I did murder. And I'm proud of myself. Anyways, that's all. Anyways. If you've seen what I've seen, if you don't, then it's like, the fact that I didn't is a good thing, okay? Regardless. Anyways. I'm proud of myself, is what I'm saying. Okay. I don't care. Anyways. That's terrible. That is so terrible. Oh well. Haha, oh well. So he pops up randomly. My boys like to pull up on me. Brian. Bobby pulled up on me at the gym when I was exercising, and I sweat now because I got the gallbladder removed, so I sweat now. Because there's nowhere for oil to escape. So he saw me sweat, and I was just like, I almost cried, so I ran away. He saw me weak too. I was weak and sweating, and I was just like, no. You know? But I was wearing a king top, because I still rep my boys, like, I still rep them. So I don't know if he thought I was sad, because, I don't know, but I was like, no, he's part of the Donna arc of me and Blake doing Battle of the Bands. Curse of the Virgin Canvas kind of thing, okay? So I still rep them. It's hilarious to me. Anyways, but Bobby pulled up with his friends, and I went, oh, it was hot, first of all. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go. Every time I see Bobby, I'm like about to go, and then I'm like, oh wait, I'm not supposed to. Wait, oh fuck. So he can only, like, okay, he can be around me if we're acting brand new, and then I'm happy, and I'm like, the second we acknowledge each other, I turn black. So I'm like, at the restaurant, and it was both of them, so it was even worse. Luke was at the restaurant with Bobby, and they were talking. Dana was there, Willow was there, like, they were talking, right? And I was acting brand new, serving them. I'm like, I don't know nothing. Like, my eyes, I'm looking up. I'm like, nothing. I have no idea. And then they try to acknowledge me at the end to go with them. But that girl messed with me, and they were both there. I was like, I looked at Bobby, I'm like, clean this up, like, because I was like, emotions aren't real. And then they're like, oh, but she's crying. I'm like, clean this up. Like, I was looking for, it was bad, okay? I was like, oh, I'll be not right now. You tell me, unless you tell me right now, you know? And so he let me leave, because I was like, clean this up, you know, okay? And he knows when the lights go out. He pulls everybody away. Alright, enough of Amanda. You know, terrible stuff. Okay? He knows my mom was abusive and stuff. Like, it's part of that. He witnessed just as much as I did. So that's another reason why I love him. He understands me. Yeah, put some blush on. What else? I don't want to do anything with my eyes. I'm just gonna put lips and call it for that portion. Let's go back to Luke. So Luke doesn't talk much. I'm trying to get him to talk, you know, but he also feels guilty for the D situation. So I make him buy people dinner. Like, we all go out to dinner. They're my boyfriends, so it's a group of us. So, and he's already got money from being in The Word of Liar, so I would make him pay for dinner. And I'm like, let's go to dinner, guys. And so he was a gentleman to all of us, since he wanted to act like that. He doesn't want to talk to me, instead of, he wants to incorporate people, have a middleman. I'm like, all right, fine, let's all go to dinner. You know, And he would pay for dinner. He was still a gentleman. It was just situational. And I'm assuming he knew about Ronnie and Bobby, knowing their background, so he also couldn't technically be with me in a way. If he knows that background. And I'm assuming he did on his end, but he wouldn't say anything about it. Which is fine. But he knows how I felt about him. So it was a thing. And then Bobby comes in the picture and he starts buying the dinner. Stuff like that. But it was Luke's parties and he bought dinner. I would cook for him. We didn't have a lot of time together. It was short, but like it was very intense. Because we had each other's brains basically, because we're both post-hardcore. Like I could talk to him, not in riddles, but musically. I could just say a title of a song or a band or the lyrics of one, and he would know what I'm saying, you know? So we didn't have to talk. We would just say, like I said, in this moment is Danny, and then my boys, if you're in the scene, you know what I said, you know? Or, into Shikari and all that, like, we all talked that way, and it was fun, because, like, you'd have to keep up, kind of thing. And so, like, my girlfriends, they're, like, Alyssa and Danny, they act like they're in the scene, but, like, they have different music tastes, like, theirs with, like, Bayside and stuff, which is why I played that one for Alyssa, because she's more, like, pop punk, and I'm more, like, post-hardcore. Oh my god, I just listened to a band this weekend that, like, threw me back to memories. I'm like, oh my god, Sky Eats Airplane. And oh, show. You know, stuff like that. So, like, that was my genre, okay? And I was just, like, thrown. I was like, oh, shit, yes. I'll trade you all of them, okay? Bobby's is classic rock, and that's what I hate about him, because I know that, too. That's my mom's, though, so I'm like, pisses me off. I'm like, fuck you. You know, it's just like, yes, I know it, but I'm post-hardcore. I'm with Luke. Like, me and him, like, could talk. Noah could talk, too, though, so we're just like, you know? And I'm like, fuck Noah, no. You know, it's like, stop knowing me. Okay? And so, like, the whole tattoo, because Luke was like, or I go to Noah, because I said I'm gonna talk about Noah. So Noah can only be around me with Luke because I'm technically with Luke, and it's like a temptation thing, okay? Because we speak each other's language. So he has this neck tattoo, and it's like of an apple, whatever, okay? You've seen it. And so I'm like, what do you want? He's like, I don't want to sing about, like, Taylor Swift. I don't want to sing about a girl and, like, it being, like, we break up and stuff. So I look at him, I'm like, okay, well then we will never date. We will always be friends. Boom. So even if you want to sing about a girl or anything, it's not about them. It's about our friendship, because now it's tied. Okay? He's like, oh shit. Because we're rap battling, okay? So he's like, oh shit. So we were friends forever. So when he confronted me with a random stranger saying he's upset with me, I'm like, no, he's not. For what? For knowing me? Because we're friends forever. Like, that's not. We're friends forever. Be mad at me. I don't care. We're friends forever. It's done. Like, okay? He was too excited going in that line. I'm like, fuck. Okay? You know, it's short and sweet, but like, we know each other, okay? Anyways, so that's what the tattoo and him singing about and stuff is bigger than that. With our relationship is friends forever. It's not, and that's part of the brotherhood, okay? So like he's tied to Luke, and I'm just like, oh shit, you know? Okay. That's another reason why I was like, what's a Noah? Because like Dan doesn't know that shit. Dan doesn't know my relationship with Noah. That's why I'm like, what's a Noah? Am I with him? And then at the dinner, Noah's like, oh, let her burn. I'm like, were we supposed to? Like, did you want to be wed? Because I had already given prior to that, that was the Bobby dinner. He already paid for dinner, but before he even paid for dinner, we had built we had planned the business. So regardless of what Noah wanted, which is sweet, but like something in a way situation, like there was already business and everything planned ahead of time, and then we acted it out in front of Ronnie. Okay. Because regardless of what David had to say, regardless of what Dan had to say, regardless of anybody had to say, we already knew the line, what was between us. Because his song was Mazzy Star. Okay. Everybody has songs. Noah songs technically. So after I tell him what's a Noah and everything, he wouldn't say nothing, and I was just like, all right, well then, Noah, you have to cut your hair. I love Noah's hair. It's so metal. Okay, I love Noah's hair. So you have to cut your hair. Devil's haircut. And so he does. Recently, it's a big deal. Okay, so his technically is isn't it sweater song? Unravel. I'm pretty sure Noah's song is the Unravel one. Weezer, pretty sure, but it was Devil's Haircut too, but I'm pretty sure. I don't know how that came about, but I'm pretty sure his song was Come Undone. Or not Come Undone. That's part of it for Blake and stuff. That's about all the bands, but pull my something. But yeah, okay. But his is also Devil's Haircut, the other song. I don't remember. It's a long time ago. Everybody had their own songs. Mine and Blake's is Face to Face. Who is that? Seven does? Face to Face? Yeah, so we all have songs with each other. I don't remember Looks and Eyes. I think because we had so many, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say Enter Shakar because we had so many. We were just mouthing stuff, you know? And he wouldn't talk, so he'd either sometimes he would, but he would always use his eyes and I guess. Okay. These boys, they would play, it was so fun. And that's another reason why Luke couldn't talk, because Noah was there. So Noah was kind of his mouthpiece too, because they have the same brain and they're all the same, right? So I'm like, that's fucked, you know? So they were technically dating, to be in a band together, and I was just like, oh my god. Okay. So the fact that Luke isn't drumming for him, I'm like, oh, to know why. Because Dan inter-Shakari'd me, so he couldn't be his drummer too. That was another thing. And then there's another Dan who's DL that Ronnie invited, and I think he went to jail. I don't know. Or they were joking or lying about it. I don't know which portions, the boys lie. And they're playing along, so I don't know. I don't know who went to jail, what happened. I was in the house hiding. Not hiding, but in that another room, and I'm like, wait, what? Somebody, this is my place, what the fuck? Yeah. What else? Oh, DL. I see DL, he has a skull tat, and I'm like, what does that do, Bobby? What does that do? Because I'm yelling at him because he hooked up with us. I'm like, what does that do? That's a slut right there. What does that do, Bobby? I know, but so messed up. Anyway. Luke always had to be surrounded by other people so that we, that was another thing. But it was fun. I'm not outing anybody. If I were to, I'm just gonna say I'm bi. That's all I'm gonna say, But I'm not bi. That's not true. I'm straight. I'm California bi. It's exercise. But feeling wise, I'm straight. Emotionally, I'm straight. I have emotions for Luke. Yeah, but, ugh, when I see him, especially when I see kid, like he'll post videos of him as a kid performing. Oh my god, like that triggers me because it's like that was supposed to be me and him, so I get triggered. You know, it's bad. So very protective of him. Whereas Bobby, if I see him, oh my god, I don't know. It's like, do I fuck Bobby? Do I kill Bobby? I don't know. He had a kid on me. Do I kill him? Literally? Or do I have sex with him? Terrible. Anyways. Not the one I kid. He did. Okay, anyways. I think that's enough information. 40 minutes is long enough. I'm thinking about Luke this whole time, but there's so many things happening around us. And I'm protective of him and I had to bring up Noah. Oh, I throw a tantrum for Noah because he's around. He was like 5 guys, and I had Blake in there and stuff, and I was just like, no. And then Noah jumps up. I'm like, Noah needs to be in there. No, Noah. Okay. Love you, Noah. Forever. Besties forever. Best friends forever. Best friends forever. So yeah, I think Ronnie's on, so I'm gonna go watch him and bother him. Bye.